Welcome back, dear viewers, and this evening we're joined by Haya Alghareeb, a medical specialist here on Hala Kuwait. Good evening to you, Haya.
Good evening, thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you.
Pleasure is all mine, thank you.
You're most welcome. So therefore, Haya, we are in Kuwait, and you know, as the climate is difficult in some seasons, and we are in the holy month of Ramadan, how can someone really take care of their skin?
Usually in Ramadan, people, or at least my patients, they suffer from dryness from the weather and from fasting. And I always recommend when you are fasting during the fasting periods, it's best to have as much moisturizers on hand as possible. The moisturizer doesn't need to be thick at all. It can be with a thin consistency, but reapplying it every 2 to 3 hours is going to help your skin a lot.
All right. So Haya, would love to know in specific, why does fasting affect the skin so much?
The dehydration basically is the #1 reason why it affects the skin. When the skin is dehydrated, it loses its elasticity. The pores become very tight, and usually this is when some people have flakiness around the mouth or around the eyes. So we usually see that a lot in Ramadan or when people are fasting. Hydration, as well as the night before, drinking as many fluids as possible to rehydrate during the next day is also an option.
Okay, so drinking just water, or does it come with the electrolytes or omega?
Electrolytes is amazing, and I also recommend that collagen supplements. Usually collagen preserves the hydration in the skin and in the body for longer periods of time. So I do recommend collagen supplements. I highly recommend the marine kind and especially the hydrolyzed collagen, because it's absorbed by the body a little bit more faster than the regular options out there.
All right. I'm sure this topic, dear viewers, especially for the girls that are watching us here on Hala Kuwait. And Haya, how can somebody lock in moisturizing during from suhoor to iftar?
Usually when you have a lot of, as you said, electrolytes on hand, using toners. Also, toners preserve the skin's moisture for longer periods of time, but there are several kinds of toners. There are the hydrating toners, and there are toners that contain estrogens. Estrogens usually pull the oil from the skin, so it makes it a little bit more drier. This is a good option for people with oily skin, but usually even people with oily skin and combination skin suffer from dryness during the holy month of Ramadan.
Yes, as you know, I have an oily skin, and I really suffer.
Most men do, yeah.
All right, so most men do?
Most men do have oily skin, yeah.
Okay, and how can one take care of it, as you said?
Usually using the estrogens, as I mentioned, like something with witch hazel, something with niacinamides, and these products, salicylic acid is also a great option. AHA's alpha hydroxy acids also is a very good option to strip away a little bit of the oils that are trapped in the skin. But if you do suffer from dehydration, the oil content in the skin is a little bit different than the water content in the skin. So usually sometimes you can have a lot of oil in the skin, but the water concentration in your skin is a little bit low, so you do suffer from dehydration.
All right, some really beautiful information here, dear viewers, for you and us really to take care of our skins. So you mentioned, Haya, something about heavy oil creams, and since we are in Ramadan, how can one use a heavy oil cream?
So the consistency of the creams differs. Sometimes they are heavy-based and sometimes they are water-based. Usually with people with large pores, they do excrete more oils in the skin. So I do recommend something with a lighter consistency, but reapplying it is the key. So every 2 to 3 hours, you can moisturize with a very light consistency cream. Heavier consistency, usually I do recommend it for people who have done microdermabrasion or microneedling, sometimes even with peels, because the skin barrier is kind of compromised. So it is best to use things with creams with higher consistency to preserve the hydration in the skin and to make the skin as elastic as possible.
Okay, and Haya, do you recommend males going to the dermatologist a lot?
Absolutely, yeah, because, you know, males and females go through the same skin problems, and usually men kind of withhold treatments, or they say it isn't necessary, or a little bit of shampoo on the face can solve the problem, and it's not the case. Usually they do need to see someone for their skin, especially if they're going through an issue or a problem.
All right, Haya, and we'd love to ask you more about the ingredients that someone should avoid during Ramadan, especially that we are fasting.
Usually I do recommend to stay away from ingredients that strip away the moisture from the skin. As I mentioned before, if you do have oily skin or combination skin, you do want to have some control over the oil sebum secretion from the skin. But using products in moderation, I do feel that if we create a balance between kind of making the concentration of oil and water equal in the skin, it does yield better results in terms of having good skin and hydrated skin. But things like AHAs or BHAs or salicylic acid usually over dries the skin, and I highly don't recommend them for anyone that has dry skin, especially in Ramadan.
All right, you mentioned a lot of ingredients. I think, dear viewers, if you are into skincare, you are really going to benefit from Haya Alghareeb today.
Thank you.
We're going to ask her some really difficult questions for you here on Hala Kuwait.
And we're ready.
That's great. Well, Haya Alghareeb, we want to ask you, how do late night, as you know, we are still in the holy blessed month of Ramadan, and people stay up late, or they have sleep patterns that are different. How does this cause the puffiness under the eyes or some dark circles under the eye?
We have to determine the dark circles. Did they just appear, or did the patient have them from a long period of time? Usually, sometimes dark circles are inherited, they're genetic. So using creams sometimes with ingredients for whitening the area or for lightening the area, such as arbutin, kojic acid, tranexamic acid, all of these ingredients kind of lighten the area around the eyes. And also try to moisturize as much as possible to avoid the lines or the pre-early lines that we get due to aging. But if you do stay up late in Ramadan, it's best to drink as much fluids as you can the day prior, and also using creams that are intended to clear the dark circles and to moisturize the area. And I do have some patients that say we do have like a moisturizer for the skin, but we just apply a little bit on their eye. It's not the same. Eye creams have low molecule or small molecules that are absorbed by the skin faster than the regular creams that are intended for the face. So I highly recommend buying and specifically eye cream that is intended to treat the problems that are related to the eye area.
Okay, and Haya, I want to ask you about the hair. As you know, people are fasting also. Does fasting damage the hair?
Not necessarily, because you're getting the nutrients mostly like after iftar. But sometimes people are a little bit sensitive to the fluctuation of the schedule being a little bit different than how it used to be. So even if we do get some hair loss, it's basically temporary. I do recommend having vitamins or kind of making the ferritin level, which is the iron level, a little bit higher in Ramadan. So there's not an issue if you do want to take some iron supplements or some B complex supplements. These all help. I do also recommend zinc. Zinc is a great supplement to take during the holy month of Ramadan also to treat this problem.
All right, so you mentioned zinc, iron, and other nutrients that somebody should take to keep healthy hair during fasting and also after fasting.
And skin also.
Okay, and how do you see oily iftars or somebody just eating a lot of meals in iftar? And as you know, more food causes inflammation to the skin. How can somebody avoid this issue?
Watching your food, honestly, I do tell most of my patients to watch their food in Ramadan. It's just like any other month. Following a healthy diet, eating as much antioxidants as possible, like berries, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries. These all help. Instead of sweets or instead of gaimat, I highly recommend that they switch to fruits instead to help with this issue.
I think this is really hard for them.
It is a little bit difficult, but doable.
So, Haya, I want to ask you more about the sun, since, you know, here in our beautiful Kuwait, the sun is really active. And since we are in the holy blessed month of Ramadan, how should somebody take care of their skin during this time?
Well, I do know that a lot of people had high expectations of Ramadan being during a cold weather, but I'm kind of feeling that it's not going to be the case. It's going to be a little bit warm and the sun is a little bit hot, so I do recommend that they wear SPF as much as possible. SPF 50 plus is a great option. There are so many on the market now that are very suitable for all skin types, so there is no excuse for not wearing SPF anymore. There are kinds that are mixed with a little bit of color for like the girls that are interested in having a little bit of coverage during the day for work, and there's also the invisible types of SPF. They all do treat also other issues in the skin, such as hyperpigmentation or large pores. Some of them have a great amount of hydration, so you don't suffer through dryness during the day.
All right, some really insightful information from you, Haya. What about that, dear viewers? We shall ask Haya Alghareeb more questions, but after this report, so stay tuned. Welcome back, dear viewers, and this evening we're still joined by Haya Alghareeb, a medical specialist here on Hala Kuwait. It's such a pleasure to be talking to you, Hala.
Pleasure's all mine, thank you.
So, which suhoor supplements are the most effective for people watching us today, and you'd really like them to benefit?
So I've seen a lot of people kind of go towards gummies that are a little bit more easier on digestion and easier on the stomach. I highly recommend multivitamins that are intended for each gender. So there are multivitamins that are intended for females and for males, and you can find them at any pharmacy now. Some say that taking pills are a little bit difficult in Ramadan, so I do recommend that there are now things that look similar to candy and taste like candy, but they're great in all of the nutrients that you need.
All right, but Haya, for somebody to take so much supplements, they have to really seek a dermatologist and ask them first, right?
So most of the multivitamins you can take without going to the doctor, because there's a little bit of everything. Like there's a little bit of vitamin B, vitamin C, iron, so you're getting everything in moderation. But if you are worried that you don't want to take anything without seeing a doctor, not necessarily that you can see a dermatologist, you can see your regular GP in your area's hospital or mustawsif, so it's fine, you can see someone for that. They can run several tests to see if there's any deficiencies in specific nutrients that you need to follow up with.
Okay, that's great to know. And since, you know, Haya, we are still in the holy blessed month of Ramadan, and people would like to water their face, for example, can they use a different kind of mist, or they can go for the normal water?
Regular water, you mean washing your face with your regular water?
Yes.
You can use toners also. There are great toners out there. I know a lot of girls now are gravitating towards the Korean products, and I have no issue with them. A lot of Korean products have really nice amount of hydration in their toners, like rice water. Some of them have snail mucus in them. So there's so many great ingredients to explore and to experiment with.
Definitely, this section of the girls section has a lot of varieties to explore.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So usually we just use water from the tap.
Very simple. Men are usually very simple when it comes to skincare.
All right. And also, hey, want to know more about the cracked lips and how can one fix them during the fast?
Usually using emollients. So emollients have very thick consistency. Unlike creams, they're oil-based, and they kind of lock in the moisture in the lips. And I think it's a great option, especially if someone is going through dehydration, because usually the lips are the first sign of dehydration, cracked lips at least. So usually using emollients, you can find them at any pharmacy, or petroleum jellies that you can apply 1 to 2 times a day. And as I said, using a lot of drinking a lot of water and electrolytes the day prior is going to help with this issue a lot.
All right. I really want to crack a myth here when my parents tell me to use a lemon on my cracked lips. Is this correct?
I don't think so.
All right. So this is not true.
This is the first I've heard of. Yeah.
All right. What about that, dear viewers? Please listen to the professionals with your skin, especially here on Hala Kuwait. We have Haya Alghareeb to explain to you all kinds of professional, beneficial things that you can take care of yourself. So, Haya, do you see a lot of people coming to your clinics and doing professional treatments for the skin during Ramadan?
I do have a lot of appointments. I've been checking my schedule a couple of days ago, and I've seen that we do have a lot of appointments, especially the week prior to Ramadan, and I think that's a good idea. I know that we have a lot of visiting family and friends during the first weeks of Ramadan, so a lot of Females are preparing for that, having facials done, a little bit of microneedling. But during the month of Ramadan, I do think that because there's a lot of people that are having dehydration in their skin, they kind of want to get the moisture back in their skin, so they're seeking a lot of hydrofacials, and they are a great option to kind of put back the moisture in the skin, is having a hydrofacial during the month of Ramadan. It's a very simple and relaxing procedure, and you're going to have wonderful results after.
All right. So Haya, how many liters should someone drink after the fast?
I would say for females 1.5 liters, and for males 2.
All right. And how does somebody avoid acne?
Acne is a little bit tricky because acne is the oversecretion of oil in the skin, which gets trapped in the pores, and sometimes when it gets mixed with bacteria, it can have the closed comedones, which actually this is how acne shows up on the skin. So using products that are intended to clear away acne, such as benzoyl peroxide, is a great ingredient. You can find it in face wash or creams or serums, and this kind of prevents the acne from coming up in the skin, showing up.
All right. And do you see the shower timing coming in handy before the fast or after the fast? When should someone have a shower to take care of their skin, really?
It doesn't really matter for me.
Okay.
I mean, it could be before, it could be after, whatever is suitable for the person, I would say.
All right. And Haya, would love to know from you, for us and our dear viewers today, what is the ideal method to take care of your skin during the holy blessed month of Ramadan?
Take your vitamins, drink a lot of water. I highly recommend collagen supplements, hydrolyzed marine collagen. And using skincare, change up your skincare a little bit. So if you're using specific kind of skincare before Ramadan, try to find something a little bit more hydrating, a little bit more stronger on the skin to kind of balance the oil and water secretion in the skin.
All right. And Haya, what's your last message to our dear viewers watching us today on Hala Kuwait?
It's only a month. We should enjoy it. I feel it's a very blessed and beautiful month. And I do feel that the fluctuation kind of does affect the skin, but not as much as people are scared of or afraid of. So it's very doable and it's very tolerated.
All right. Thank you so much for your beautiful messages for us and our dear viewers today. And thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
You're most welcome. Therefore, dear viewers, let's all thank the coming of Haya Alghareeb, a medical specialist here on Hala Kuwait. Therefore, dear viewers, we shall take a look at this next report, so stay tuned.